Typically, when you think about Portuguese cakes, you think about Pastéis de Nata, or at least most tourists do. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice cake, and it's very practical. You can bring it around as you explore the city, but I would not say it's the tastiest. I mean, the tastiest, I think it's Bolo de Bolacha, which is a bit like tiramisu. It has a very nice flavor of coffee, and it's very easy to make. You don't need to bake at all. You just need to follow some rules, otherwise you'll get the same issue I had the first time I tried it. But if you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And with that, let's jump in.
You'll need for this recipe 2 packs of butter cookies or Maria cookies. Maria cookies are actually the most traditional ones, but I couldn't find them in the supermarket. You'll need 200 grams of butter, and if you don't have a scale, you can make equally distanced cuts and you just take what you need. You'll need 3 eggs, preferably medium or large, 150 grams of sugar, but if you cannot measure it, less is better. You'll need 300 milliliters of coffee, which is basically a full mug. And this is optional, but a little bit of coffee liquor will make it taste much better. Now you want to cook in bain-marie, so you want to put some boiling water in a bigger pan, and the smaller pan you break the eggs there. And save the egg whites for making an egg white omelette later and having some healthier lunch. I mean, this is a very heavy recipe, so you'll probably want some healthier options later. And so you put the 3 egg yolks in the smaller pan, which then you add to the bigger one, and then you want to start adding the sugar. And you don't want to add all the sugar at the same time. You'll start adding it bit by bit, and this part is how you should do a great tiramisu recipe as well. If you have a machine, it will be much faster, but as I don't have, I just fast forwarded because it was a quite tedious process. But you just keep mixing it and adding the sugar. I then had the idea to add a little bit of brandy that I still had from the previous recipe, and I think it made the butter cream a little bit nicer, so you can also put it if you still have some. Then you start adding the butter bit by bit till you get everything homogeneous. And it's still a quite tedious process, but it's worth it. At some point though, it will become quite liquid, especially because it's warm. So you'll want to wait to the sauce to cool down before starting to make your cake, otherwise you'll get the same issues I did the first time I made it myself. After the cream cools down a bit, you want to put it in the fridge for 1 or 2 hours. Until it gets this kind of nice consistency. Yeah, this is what I want. And my cookies were not really the traditional Maria cookies, had these things on the sides, so I decided to soak them in coffee and put them upside down. I think it also played a role why my sauce went to the sides on the first try. And I just decided to make a 6 cookie layer, and you can decide what looks better for you. And I spread the cream around evenly, and I think I put a lot of cream, so I had less layers of cookies. It's really a little bit like tiramisu. You want to soak all the cookies in coffee, but also not too much, otherwise you'll not be able to stack it up properly. And in the end, you will want to crumble cookies on top, and I mean, you can do it probably more efficiently with a machine. I just did it by hand, and I was trying to cover all the imperfections. And if you have coffee beans, you can also put them on top to make it look extra nice. And in the end, it's like this. Yeah, looks good. And you want to put it in the fridge for 2 hours. And I think I didn't really wait 2 hours. My girlfriend wanted to try it earlier, that's why it's not as firm. But it is what it is. And now you want to plate it, and I try to make it look nice for the picture. I mean, this is not a cake with real Marie cookies, but it's still a divine, beautiful cake.
If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing.